Okay, and then also I wanted to know about the sibling visits because I have three children and they were all in different homes. And the court order was to have that they would have sibling visits, but it was in compliance.
Hey, Aaron, you ready to take another call?
I am. Let's talk to Glenisha from California. Glenisha, do you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
I had some questions to ask.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about if if one of the parents had moved out of state, the parent that is not in the case. Do you get me? Because I have a case, but my kid's dad, they didn't have a case, so they were able to get the children, and one of them were able to move out of state with the child. I wanted to know if I had any say so in that.
Well, you can contest or have a trial on that issue to try to stop the move. And then if you weren't successful, you can also appeal it so that the child, try to get the Court of Appeals to rule that the child can stay here or should stay here in California.
Okay, and then also I wanted to know about the sibling visits because I have three children and they were all in different homes. And the court order was to have that they would have sibling visits, but it was in compliance.
You mean it wasn't happening?
Yeah, it wasn't happening at all. It wasn't happening at all.
When a court makes an order and, someone in the case is not complying with that court order, another party can file a motion for contempt to try to get the court to force the other party to comply with the court orders. And maybe you should talk to your attorney about doing something like that.
Yes. You guys are in California, right?
Yes, in Los Angeles County.
Okay. So I just wanted to know how I can make an appointment with one of your attorneys.
Okay. If you have a pencil, I'll give you a telephone number. It's 888 888 888 6582. 888 6582. Glenisha, I want to thank you for calling and thank you for listening. Call us back in the next few weeks and give us an update on your case. Hey, Aaron.
I'm here.
I have a question for you. What's going on in your case? We're not going to mention any names, of course, but tell us what's going on in your case.
I have filed my 388 petition, and it was denied. So I just filed an appeal, put the paperwork in 2 days ago, and now we're waiting. So in the meantime, I have been just doing the best to make the most of my visitations. I help other parents that are in the building. I hand out snacks and little games and toys. I've done all of my services. I can't stress enough how important to do the court-ordered services are. Begrudgingly or not, you have to do them. I don't think it's an admission of guilt like a lot of parents think, but so I've completed everything that the court has asked me to do, and now I'm in a holding pattern, I guess you would call it, and just trying to make the most of my time as I wait. But that's where I'm at right now.
You and I were talking about this off the air, and when the court denied your 388 petition, it gave some reasons why it denied the 388.
Right, and which
Are there?
didn't make very much sense.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
is there a way you can take that 388 and quote unquote fix it or quote unquote add to it to satisfy what the judge indicated? And you can just
Well, they said that
refile it.
there wasn't enough, there wasn't a change of circumstance. There wasn't enough evidence that the situation has changed, which I found odd because I've completed all my services and I've actually changed my trajectory in life. And my whole goal now is to help other parents, reunify with their children and grandparents to get their children in. Which has been a complete change in my circumstances. And I've also seen a decline in my daughter. But they said that since I have a hearing in June, that there wasn't a substantial change in the circumstances.
You know, what you might want to do is talk to your attorney about refiling your 388 this coming week with the following modifications.
Okay.
Stress more about, how you've completed the entire case plan, and also include what's called points and authorities. A lot of times
Okay.
people file 388s without legal points and authorities. And based upon my knowledge and experience, I'm not the judge, but based upon my opinion, there are cases out there, appellate cases, that would go and support your 388 petition being granted now. I don't think that the fact that you have a hearing coming up in June has anything to do with whether your 388 petition should be granted or not granted.
Right. That's what I thought too. And I did a little bit of research and I found out that the judge in particular got into a lot of trouble for granting 388. He was granting too many a while back. And so now just about every single 388 that comes against his decision-making powers, he denies. And so the attorneys have to refile again with the exact same paperwork, the exact same stuff to get him to take a second look.
When you say the judge got in trouble for granting too many 388s, what do you mean by that?
It was something that my attorney had told me. She said that he was granting them and someone came down on him about it, and it was literally night and day. He went one day from listening and granting to all of a sudden he said he's not going to be granting as many anymore, and now she said 9 out of 10 times the 388 petitions get denied. Even with, I submitted pictures and paperwork and evidence and all kinds of proof, and still denied. So, of course, we filed the appeal immediately the same day, and then we were talking about refiling the same 388 petition to see how it goes again.
Right, but this time add the points and authorities. Add the legal points and authorities to try to convince the judge that based upon these facts and everything that you've done, your petition should be granted. Especially, to liberalize your visitation in terms of monitored or supervised to unmonitored or unsupervised, and then the nature and extent and the frequency and duration of the visits, right? You can have more.
Well, I also found out that the social worker
2 minutes
is saying that I haven't learned anything from my services, which is untrue because now I'm in this field. So obviously I have benefited from services and I want other people to benefit. And he's refusing to increase my time. And I've completed all of my services in February. So I should have had already increased time. And this single social worker is saying no.
Well, you know what? Talk to your attorney and see if you can email, or the attorney can email the social worker and ask the social worker to delineate the reasons why he is coming up with that opinion, that even though that you completed the services, that you didn't learn anything from them.
Right. Well, one of the reasons, and this is funny, is because I refused to co-parent with my ex-husband. but we have a restraining order. So I'm not really sure how to co-parent with someone who has a restraining order.
Right, right.
So I'm going to have to look into that a little deeper. But that was one of the one and only reasons I was given, well, my attorney was given, because my caseworker has stopped speaking to me. Apparently I asked too many questions.
Okay.
But so that is one of them.
Hey, Aaron, we got to take another break. Engineer's in my ear.
All right.
This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be right back after these messages with more questions and more stories.